You need to work on silencing male voices because you give one of them a mic and here they go.
Welcome back, y'all, to Off the Dome Pod. I'm Bobby.
I'm Dago.
And we have a special guest this week. Would you introduce yourself?
I'm Eden. Hello.
Where you from? What school you go to?
I am from Silver Spring, Maryland, and I go to Syracuse University in New York.
That's crazy, bro. How was your week?
It was good, man. It was a good week, a lot of exams and stuff, but, we made it out.
Yeah, same, bro. This week has been, kind of heavy. I've been looking forward to this, bro. Y'all don't understand.
We hold everything until
every Saturday. We hold in every conversation, every thought just to talk.
Yeah, we don't really talk anymore like that either.
Hold up, we forgot to introduce Aman.
Introduce.
The voice that y'all can't see.
I'm here, though.
Y'all know what he looks like.
Y'all already know us. Yeah.
He's like 5'5", I think.
Say, all right.
I got calling him like that.
I don't say much. Yeah, y'all, they already know me.
Sorry.
So let's just get straight into it. You have the questions for?
I got the question, but I just wanna, we can get straight into it.
We have questions for our guest,
Eden.
So
as a warm up, we're just gonna ask you the question that we asked ourselves and Sammy last week. Is do you have any like just growing up Habesha? How was life like?
In a woman, like a girl's perspective, because last week it was us guys.
Just four guys.
How was it as like a girl, or like growing up?
Obviously, it has its perks. The culture is really fun. The thing that we have most in common is just like how close our family is. I think that's just a thing with a lot of Ethiopians. Is like they really go deep into that like blood is thicker than water type stuff. But as a girl, it was really hard because they're also just like that whole, especially being like the eldest daughter, and like there's just so many things riding on you, and also just being like a first generation immigrant. You have to try really hard to get into college, and then on top of that, you have to interact with your family members. You have to do all the stereotypical girl things, like helping your mom with the dishes and food, and like, man. And then on top of that, they're just, everyone's extremely overprotective, so you don't really get to have as much fun as like your other male relatives. I had a pretty strict upbringing growing up. I didn't really get my freedom until I was.
Is there any like stories you remember? Like any like, it could be funny, could be
favorite.
Yeah, favorite stories.
Favorite childhood story.
My favorite childhood story.
Growing up in your household.
Maybe like my not like childhood, but back in 2016, my uncle in Ethiopia was getting married, and so everyone on my dad's side who's in America all traveled to Ethiopia for the summer to celebrate with him. That was really fun, like having the American relatives and then the our Ethiopian, or like our relatives in Ethiopia, like come together and celebrate. People who haven't seen each other in years or decades were just like celebrating.
Really be like that too.
It's like my dad hadn't seen like some of his relatives. That was the first time he actually went to Ethiopia since he
been here
since he went to ask my grandpa for my mom's hand in marriage, type thing. So like
one day.
So it's been like 20 years though. So that was just really fun.
Were you born here?
Yes.
How was that going back? Was that your first time going back?
No, I've been there like 3 times. Luckily for me, even though it's really hard for me to speak Amharic, like I could understand it fully. My little brother doesn't really have that, since I don't know, he just doesn't understand as much as I do. I guess maybe because I was raised by my parents, and my brother kind of just looked up to me, and I just spoke English.
How is it like speaking like the language from like when you're trying? Because like that's something we were talking about last week, and then like
really hard.
I know
it's
like
really hard, especially since the language itself doesn't use like English letters. Like they have their own characters, their own language. It's really difficult to get on the top.
Did you ever get like kind of like turned down by your parents, or like maybe not made fun of, but like when you were trying to speak, they were like, "What are you saying?"
Not my parents, but like other relatives, they just be like, like the typical like, oh, you're French, like you were born in America.
Damn.
Like, why don't you try to do that? It's nothing like actually deep, but I think that also affected on how much or how little I spoke it, you know, because I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah, that's something we talked about because like growing up here, like when they go back, like children that were like, you know, growing up here, when they go back like to back home and they try to speak the language, like they understand the culture in some aspect, but like speaking the language is very hard for them. So they kind of feel like neglected. That's why some of them like don't want to go back home, like because they know how it is, because like they feel like left out, because like even everyone speaking Amarina, and just like you don't know, like even if they do know what they're saying, like they can't talk back and communicate with them. So it's like this barrier between, you know, them growing up here and then, you know, that's crazy though.
I was gonna also say, you said you went to Syracuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it's a well-known, predominantly white institution, and clearly, you're not white. But I was gonna say, no, like how was that? How was that? Like, because Silver Spring is, you grew up with like, you know, the culture and the people you were around with. What high school did you go to?
I went to John F. Kennedy High School.
And like, I don't know how
it's a mixture.
It's a mixture, right? And how was that transition? And like, any memories, any experiences from there that you think was, you know, that stood out?
Like you said, growing up, the culture I was around was just like predominantly black and Hispanic, you know. There wasn't really that many white people I grew up around. So going to college was like a huge culture shock, especially Syracuse. You know, they try to like reel you in with like all the brochures and tell you like we're extremely diverse, you know, we're open to everybody and la-di-da-di-da. They even got like, they don't have one white person on their brochure. It's just like Asian, black, and Hispanic people. And when I tell you, I barely see those types of people.
Terrible marketing.
It's terrible. And then when you go there, it's weird. Especially, there's not that many Ethiopian people there, so they don't really know what that is. Like, I thought it's a mixture of just like people being like, oh, like, you're exotic looking. Are you like mixed, or like where are you from? Or they just won't try to befriend you at all because they have this, you know, they believe in the stigma. This just like, you know, all black people are like unfriendly, or they're just not gonna like them, or just any stereotype they could think of, you know. Like going into lectures, you'll be like the only one sitting alone, while like white people who don't even know each other will like sit right next to someone they have no idea who it is, because you know, I guess it's easier to just like sit next to know someone who you have something in common with, even though it's just skin color. But
did you ever connect with the Ethiopians, the small people that were there?
Oh yeah, we got like a group chat, like 25, 30 of us.
Ooh,
that go there.
That's not bad.
That's plenty of people, you know.
It's gotten smaller and smaller. Definitely the class of 2020, like my freshman year, they had a lot of people. Then kind of just dwindled.
That's nice.
I mean, we talk.
I'm actually learning about this in class. Have you did like, it's called code switching?
I do that my entire. I've done that my entire life.
Never mind.
Of course.
That boy just
We
learned
watched
that
a TED
today.
talk about it. We watched a TED talk. She was saying like code switching isn't bad. It's just basically showing a different side of yourself to different people. So it's like a skill.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of that in PWI?
I did that in high school, like to get internships, like to get into programs and stuff, just to, like, even though I went to predominantly black and white schools, like before college, all our teachers were white, so they're gonna pick and choose which students they like depending on like how they speak, how they talk to them, just things like that. And I'm not gonna lie, it definitely works a lot better than like acting like yourself. Because
What do you say, like, is it a bad thing? So what I mean is, like, there are a lot of people that would say like we shouldn't have to do that, you know what I mean? And the other point of view is like we live like in the Western world, like the black population is like 14-15%. You know, it's kind of not a choice, like, you know what I mean? So like, what's your perspective on that, all you guys in general?
Yes.
Does it bother you? It was basically.
No, I agree with you. It definitely should not be a thing. I would love to live in like a utopia where like we don't really have to code switch and we could just act like our true selves and not like speak in an articulate manner and blah blah blah. But we don't live in utopia, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. If it's gonna get us to a place that we deserve to be, I mean, just use it. If you're good at code switching, go ahead. Just don't make it like your personality. You know?
For me, it's like I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Cause like when people say act yourself, I know like how when we all act, it's kind of like there's some things I wouldn't say in front of other people because I know. Like, so I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just being wise and aware of like who you're around, and because there's some people who might get hurt by what you're saying. Because I know me, you, and dog, even Eden. Like if I say something around you, like, I wouldn't take it no way. But
We know you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you know who does like code switching so like perfectly? Ethiopian parents.
Let's get back.
I said what I said.
Y'all can't stay away from this topic, can you?
Nah, it's funny to me, but personally to me, like I don't really mind it, but it's like depend on like where or like the situation I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then I have to like I don't want to say play this role, but like it's like I have to like put myself in a situation or in a situation where like I have to act differently to like not impress people, but like try to see like you know what I mean, like so I won't like stand on like I mean I'm okay with that. I make friends with the people I can talk to, but like yeah, I don't really mind. Like I said, it shouldn't be.
Wait, I guess the question I have is like when people say act different. Like let's say if I'm normally like what's that called? Like kind of immature, and like when I'm around people of power, I act more mature. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Is like what if I take that trait and put it apart, like make him a part of me, and like that becomes me. You get what I'm saying?
So
Probably trying to get a badge over here.
Like that's what I always be thinking when people say, I want to act like myself. Like what if yourself isn't that good?
improve
Yeah.
your
That's what I'm saying.
characteristics.
Like, you gotta upgrade, my guy.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it
more
is
like,
something.
okay, if a white person had that same sort of personality, they're not going to think anything of it. They're just going to be like, oh, that's so cute. They're like their inner child. Da, 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 da. But if it's like a black person, they're going to be like, wow, like you're super undertrained. Like what type of house did you come from? Like they're just going to assume the worst out of you instead of like giving you the benefit of the doubt.
and you think like that's like implied? They wouldn't like.
It's implied. It
Yeah,
definitely
it's-
is. They're just
yeah.
going to be like, where did you come from? Like,
Yeah.
you
Do
know?
y'all watch Sorry to Bother You?
What is that?
No.
This is like a movie based like on this, and this guy basically working. The movie is an overall is a weird movie.
It with Lake Hughes or something?
What? I don't know the guy's name. He's a guy.
Shit, Leakies?
Lake Hughes Stanfield, the guy from Atlanta.
Yeah. It's a guy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He works at a call center, and he's struggling to get these calls. And this older guy's like, you gotta use your inner voice. He's like, what are you talking about? And then he started talking, as a white person, and then boom, he whatever. But all I was gonna say is, I think to your answer, how when people say don't be yourself, I think it's like don't change your core values.
Yeah, okay,
Does
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what. Or sometimes though, some people, yes, don't be yourself.
That's
like,
what I'm
if
saying.
you're really immature.
You better get fired. You better be on the street, homeless.
Yeah. That's for your own good. To some people, I would say that, but I think in general, when people say like don't change your core values.
Yeah.
That makes sense because core values are actually really important. Like, yeah.
They'll carry you.
But when it comes to like who you are, you also have to like take the time to like make not like make yourself, but like mature. You know what I mean? Like there's certain characteristics that you have to develop, and then don't like the ones that don't come naturally, right? For example, like if you get like uncomfortable talking to certain people, right? Like get out your comfort zone to be like, okay, one day, like today, I'm gonna try my best to talk to someone new, or like make a new friends, or even like even in public settings. You know what I mean? Like that's how you adopt and put yourself in a situation where you have to talk to people like you don't know for you to like to not mature, but like to develop that characteristics within yourself. There's some people that are shy and like extroverts or introverts, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I totally feel you.
Actually, yeah. Do you think like a person who's actually like an introvert, is that do you think they can like change to be an extrovert like by like practice or something? Like,
Yo, bro, that's a hard question.
no, because
bro.
I actually really want to think about it. Like, what if somebody does like they don't want to be introvert? Because there's some people who accept it, like, oh, I love being introvert. I hate people.
Yeah.
But then there's some people like I wish I could talk to people, but it's just not in me.
I had a teacher that was like a crazy introvert,
Uh-huh.
very introvert. Like, I mean, it got to a point I was like his TA type of stuff,
Mhm.
right? Even when we borrowed stuff, he wouldn't talk to me. It was kind of scary, right? And then like one day, he was talking about some kind of aluminum, something very weird, but he was talking, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I realized like the only time he really talks is when he's like interested in something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He likes, yeah.
Yeah, and he does it subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I realized I'm not a psychologist, man. I can't answer that, but from one experience, I would say is it's only if they are really interested in it and they do it subconsciously. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I see a lot of people who like when they're around people they don't know, it's like they're silent. But as soon as you get comfortable to them, they start like saying things like,
They won't stop talking.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
They won't stop talking.
I'm like, bro, This is not you.
Nah,
It's not you.
I mean, like I said, it's just one of those things where like you have to get out of your comfort zone. Like to some people, it might be challenging. You know, it's like extremely baby steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if you don't put in the effort to get out of your comfort zone and to go and try whatever it is that you want to work on, right? Then there's no use, like, unless you actually put in the effort.
I feel you.
'Cause you can't like come out there and be like, I'm gonna make friends today. They can't do it. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, I apologize. Faven, like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Faven, she's in the motherland right now.
She's
A couple of
probably
weeks
in the
ago,
Mahjong.
She's with us in spirit.
she asked us.
Whoa, hello.
What is it? Is it the phone? What is going on?
I think it's my phone. That's crazy.
I think it's the phone.
Yeah, put it away.
Yeah. Faven gave us a great topic,
Mm.
and I forgot to bring it up, but I think this is a perfect opportunity to ask this question.
Perfect. Go ahead.
First, I'm gonna ask it to Eden.
Oh,
Okay.
Go ahead.
But the question is gonna apply to you guys.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is, how do you feel about, like, in the future or just in general, what do you think about the woman proposing to a man?
Oh, thank you, favorite.
that
Thank you.
that is,
She'll probably see this 8 hours later, but thank you.
she's sleeping right now, but yeah, in general, off the dome,
Oh my god.
don't
like,
think about it.
Look, I'm all for, women getting their rights,
Like,
not having to not succumb to like just the
Equal rights, equal fights.
succumb to like the status quo of just like, sorry man, be submissive, da da da. But no way, over my dead body would I propose to, like, over my dead
What did I tell you?
body.
Did I not tell you she'll say that? Did I not tell you?
Over my
Did I not tell you?
Hold on. I actually want to ask you, why particularly for you would you say that?
I don't know. I think just like
If you say women
Just
are the
what-
price,
No, let
I
her finish
will
it.
I'm not. But well, that is
stop it.
also true. But like, I don't know. Like most girls, when women who are like with men in relationships, like they would rather be wooed, get flowers, be appreciated, because a lot of the times, the guy just gets comfortable. They don't really keep trying at like. Once they realize they're like this girl actually wants to be with them, they just stop trying, stop giving them flowers, stop appreciating them and stuff. And also, I don't know what you were talking about earlier, but women are the prize. Like, look, they are the prize.
She said what she
No,
said.
Turn
let
us
me
up.
talk, 'cause look, no, because if we do decide to have a child, we have to go through childbirth, and that is so like.
We
Bro,
talked about this
bro,
millions of
come on.
times.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing.
No,
with this.
before that, I would say is this a view you hold just for yourself, or do you think like women in general should have, like, you know what I mean?
Of course, it's just for
Just for
myself.
yourself.
If someone, hey,
There's some women I've
it's
seen.
not.
Mm.
It's like a
I wouldn't
picture.
want to do it personally, but I'm not about to say that women shouldn't
Okay.
propose to the man.
So do you think it's like in your nature to want to feel like you are not the prize, but like the man should pursue you, or do you think it's just like I'm just me, or do you think
I
women
think
like
it's just-
naturally are just that way?
Women in relationships with men, yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
okay.
like of
That's fine.
course.
Because
Like, you
some
just-
people be saying no. We just learned this. A woman could just go out there and like
Mm.
all types of stuff. So I just want to make that.
I just feel like as society progresses, like everyone wants to talk about, like, even like feminism comes into the conversation and people are like, oh, like if you want us to be equal, then you should try as much as the guy and blase blase. But like, I don't know,
Blase,
like
blase.
you can no, but you see even
Yeah.
in the relationships with our parents and just other people in the older generations that the guy doesn't really try that much. Like the woman is like succumbs to being a housewife, or they're just not appreciated at all.
Yeah.
She's speaking
Respect.
facts.
So-
I'm not gonna
That's
lie to you.
facts. I'm not gonna lie.
No, the
Alright,
answer
y'all
to your
turn.
question
Go
is-
ahead. You
The
two. How
answer
do
is
y'all
no.
feel?
I would not want my, the
Sad.
woman that I'm seeing just
To propose to you.
nah.
I would feel
that's
so
not-
awkward to me. It's like I would tell her, get up.
So
Yeah, like, yeah.
you would walk away. You would say no.
No, I want to like, bro, out in public, I'll be like, okay, let's redo this again.
I got a
Redo.
question after
Let
this.
me
I
do
got a
it.
question after
Ain't
this.
no way in
I got
public
a
I'm gonna let a girl like get on her knees. Like,
What are
"Bitch,
you gonna do? Like, what's gonna be your reaction?
I'm
I'm
gonna
a-
I'm pick her up and like, okay, let's walk
So-
away. Before they remember us, let's turn away before they remember us, and we could come back later.
So you won't say no, but you won't say like.
I'll say
okay.
no. I'll say
Hey,
no.
no, it
And
depends.
I'm private. I'll talk to her about
If
it.
she
Okay.
knew that I was about to marry her and she did that before me, I would get
Mhm.
really mad at her. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm.
Okay.
No, listen. There's like I read this thing. It was like, women when it comes to this topic, it's like women are like, no, men are taught how to treat women, right? But like women are taught like to receive things from men. Like they're not taught how to. I said what I said. Women are not taught fully like how to treat a man. Like you know what I mean? Like at a young age, yeah, they taught like.
Are you talking about like by society or like?
No, what are you talking
No.
about?
You-
Because that's not true. That's not true.
Let me finish. I don't know.
Repeat that.
Huh?
You said men are
Yeah.
not what?
Oh, I'm gonna get in hot water for this.
Hey,
go back. Go back. You know, nah. You know,
I'm about to be
I'm
like
not gonna add on.
I think the question. Are you talking about like in like as a society, or are you talking
No,
about like
it's okay.
individual?
I'm not gonna add on
Because-
that.
No. Let's
No, it's
let's
okay.
talk
It's
about
okay.
it.
I'm gonna ask another question.
No, my question is.
after-
No.
after.
Are you
It's
gonna
okay.
bring this conversation up again?
No, we're gonna
no.
finish this right now. Let's keep
No,
it
we're
short.
gonna
Let's
finish
finish
it.
this
We're gonna
right
finish
now.
it.
Look, let's.
Settle
You
this
were
down.
confident enough to bring it up, so we're gonna finish
No,
it.
this is gonna be a rule.
Oh my God, hold
Any
on.
conversation like this, like controversial, let's just keep it short and concise.
This is short.
Yes.
Hold on.
I'll give you a
I'll keep
minute.
it short. I'll keep
I
my
forgot what I
answer
was
short
gonna
too.
say.
Daggy, I'll
I
give you
forgot what I was
1
gonna
minute right now.
Bro,
I forgot. what I
I'll
was gonna
say for you, okay?
Okay, what did he say?
Basically,
It's okay.
I think what he's trying to say, without being rude, is, like as a society, right? There's a message, societal message or pressure for a man to learn how to treat a woman, right?
That's right.
But some people might feel like the society does not push that same kind of pressure to a woman to learn how to treat men.
Cause look, this is how I see it. It's like, let's just talk about simple terms. In a relationship, if the woman is feeling some type of way, like sad, it's like they put this message saying like if like one person is feeling bad, or if it's the woman, the whole relationship like it revolves around how she's feeling. When the man is feeling some type of way, it's like, okay, just leave him alone, let him come back. But it's like I don't see that push for like people trying to help the man out, like what he's going through, what his emotions. It's
That's
like
what I meant.
basically just suck it up. But if the woman is feeling bad, it's like they come to the man. What did you do wrong? Were you cheating on her? Like what?
Okay.
I don't know, like you keep me like
The question is for her.
I just.
Sorry, Daggy.
I'm
yeah.
gonna just keep it straight. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna state it because I understand you guys wouldn't even
Understand.
You wouldn't get it. But
No, I'm sorry.
from
Yeah,
no,
she
it's
calling me
fine.
dumb.
I'm not being no. Just because you're not girls, so you
Okay,
wouldn't.
no, that makes
That's
sense.
fair, that's
From
fair.
your
Anyways,
perspective. Yeah.
literally from birth, like we're told how we're supposed to, like our entire upbringing is how we're supposed to treat men, like
Yeah,
how
to
we're
be a
gonna get
good
him,
wife and,
how to
yeah.
be a good wife, how are we supposed to be a good
I agree
mother,
with
like,
you on
and
that.
then the way what you guys are talking about, whereas like in a relationship, like the guy's supposed, if the girl's mad, like the guy has to like tend to her, but then if he's mad, whatever, that's also men's fault because they put that stigma on themselves that they're supposed to be strong, they're supposed to have no feelings, they're not supposed to do anything, they shouldn't have no feelings, everything, if they do anything of that sort, then it's considered feminine, and that's not on us because we never really had that power to like make an opinion like that, and no one's going to pay attention to it. And as for women, like even you should know, even in Habesha families, like even my like aunts, even my mom has talked about like what you should do. Like if I even mention working out or something, she's like, "Don't work out too much. You might get muscles." Like,
Okay.
that just
No,
makes
no,
Is that
let-
more
let-
for
let
like
me-
cultural, like?
it's not only a cultural thing. It's like a worldly thing, but it's, I guess,
Cause some moms
being-
actually tell their like daughters like, be this pretty girl, do this, cause all the guys are gonna get you. Cause
that's what it is. A lot of moms do. I'm just saying because we would understand more being in a Habesha
Yeah, okay.
upbringing, even in school, they just tell you to like wear longer skirts, don't be promiscuous, don't show too much, even if you're like wearing like a shoulder, just like a shirt that shows your shoulders or
Yeah.
something, because you won't seem like guys won't want you. They might think that they'll just think that like you're out to get everybody, that you're a flirt, that you're whatever, and you're supposed to be some submissive, like you're just supposed to be submissive, you're supposed to cover up everything, be very modest, don't speak too much, don't have too much of an opinion, don't be too smart, don't be too dumb, like literally it's like so much is put on us, like stay beautiful. When you give birth, you're supposed to lose all of that weight so you could still be appreciated by your husband, and people won't think that you just lost your beauty. Like it's
That's
literally
right.
so
Nah,
much.
I can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Shout out to Sam though. I was saying your name, but this is
Off
exactly
camera?
no. This is what I meant. He said a man is taught how to treat a woman, but doesn't know what to expect from a woman. A woman is taught what to expect from a man, but not to treat a woman. I mean, not to treat a man. So
What is
Now-
what do you think about that?
Again,
that a valid
it's not
statement?
really, no, it's valid, but it's just, I don't know what you want me to say about it, because again, like literally the entire world is run by the patriarchy. You guys put this on yourself, not you guys specifically, but like you
Men.
guys, men, just
Yeah.
men overall, they've want to be perceived as strong and straight, and I don't understand why they're blaming women when we've never really, like I said, no one really has listened to our opinion like that or cared enough to actually change. You guys just want to be seen as strong and masculine and straight and
I got a
all
question.
of that stuff.
So I want to hear your opinion. Would you want a man that is not strong, that is like shows his emotions a lot? Not obviously there's emotions to a certain degree, right? But a man that is not strong, so he's like flimsy, weak, and he doesn't show emotional. And obviously, you will want to. I expect him to be straight. I expect you want him to be straight. But you know what I mean. So I want to hear your opinion.
I mean,
like me.
what do you mean?
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
Like,
I'm talking.
a gay man? Like, obviously,
No, okay. So, but you know how you say like.
Hey, don't say that word. We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, don't. What I'm saying is because I think to a certain degree, I will agree with you that men have this pressure, or we put on ourselves, right? I also agree that women also put some pressure on it, but that's a different topic. But I'm saying like, you personally, right? Would you think you would want a man that is not strong, that is emotional, subconsciously or consciously? Think about it.
Before you answer that, can I add this too, real quick? Also, what he's saying is like, because women say this, they say men always say nobody cares about them, all that. The reason we say that is because most of the time when a man explains his emotions, pours out what he's feeling, the women, it's used against someone, or the woman starts feeling like distant. She's like, subconsciously. Y'all could say however y'all want. We love you. We care about you. But something inside y'all changes when a man is like, he's not like looked at as the Rock anymore. He's looked at, dang, he's kind of weak. Like, he's kind of like, he's not good. That's what I want you to like. What do you think about that?
You're just kind of generalizing. If that woman's like that, then she's just not the right one. Those are just not great. I'm not for all women. Some women are dumb. Like I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm not just gonna like every single person just because they're a woman. Okay. And then for what Aman said, personally, I've experienced being with someone who doesn't express their emotions that well, and that really sucks because you can't really read them. You don't really know what they're thinking. You don't even know if they like you or if they're just like tolerating you at a point, and it just really sucks.
Okay.
About the strong thing, obviously I don't want them to be like weak as a twig or something, but like I don't really care if they aren't like if they have a six-pack, if they're like super buff or whatever. I don't really personally, I don't focus too much on physical features.
Consciously or subconsciously?
Both.
Okay, cool.
Wait, I have a question.
I don't know about other people.
Please don't somebody answer this man's question.
No,
He's been begging for like 2 weeks.
I have a question for all of y'all. But when, let's say that a man or a woman proposes. Actually, I'll say a man. If a man proposes to a woman, right? And she says no, what happens after that?
The relationship is
Walk
over.
away. What you mean? Wait.
We fight.
Don't you? I mean, usually in a healthy relationship, you guys aren't gonna communicate on when you guys are ready for marriage. If you guys are financially stable, if you guys are in a place to live together and away from like roommates or by yourself or family, whatever your situation is, If some people just think that if they've been dating for a while and they just push out a proposal out of nowhere, then their significant other should be like, yes, I'd love to, but that's not really the case,
I mean, also depends. Why does she say no? Because like, if she said no to a proposal, there's gotta be some other issue going on. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like I would be asking the guy like, were you confident that she was gonna say yes?
I was gonna say too. Are you not supposed to have that conversation before the actual like event of the proposal, right?
Yeah, even if you do have that conversation.
Not conversation.
Then break up. I mean, if you've talked about it and you guys have come to.
I missed where you started. You said you had 2 people that were proposed to.
I didn't know
at your school,
all of them personally, but I witnessed one of them. Oh my gosh, it was like my junior year of high school. Everyone gathered around during lunch in front of like the gym area, and this guy did this whole thing, and she was like.
She didn't know?
She didn't even say no. She just shook her head.
Yeah,
she's like,
he didn't tell her before?
I don't know them, but I don't think so.
Stand down,
because I didn't even
soldier.
think, like when
down.
you know, like the school couples and things like
Yeah.
that. Like, I
You
don't
know,
know.
you could feel the secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
No, I was like,
just
let me go to my class like
hate
early or
secondhand
something.
embarrassment.
Was there any proposal that stood out to you guys from?
Bro, in
Oh,
our
we're,
school,
we're not getting into
Yeah.
that.
we went to a school. It's like one of the biggest in our state.
Man, we're
Mhm.
grown. Why are we talking about high school?
Yeah. Get over
Alright,
that. Get over
bro.
that.
Let's just move on,
Talking
man.
about relationships and stuff. That was
Nah,
it.
that's
We peaked late. Last week we asked about why do Habesha men get more slander than Habesha women, and that was from our perspective. And now I kind of want to ask Eden the same thing, but from your perspective. Why do you think so?
I never actually thought about it like in depth, but okay, so I do not personally, but just like what I've heard from other people, and I feel like you guys know that Ethiopian women, Habesha women in general have this stereotype that most of them are beautiful. You know, their hair, their skin, like they're just all gorgeous women.
and we ugly.
Look, and not even Habesha, just
She trying to be nice.
overall,
Look
like,
at her.
no. East African women, they're all clustered together. You know, they have this thing. Most of it also stems from colorism and just like texturism. You know, they just
I'm with
think that most of them have like looser curls. They have
She's
lighter
getting into it,
skin.
okay,
You know,
okay.
their
We got
features.
it.
People love. No, but I'm saying that it's not only because of that. Because some people, it's not. They don't think of it for the right reasons. They think of it because of texturism
Like
and
sexualizing
colorism,
them.
or fetishizing. Let's say that.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
they're just like the same. Well, that too, but like fetishizing
He's on
is
the
just
road,
most of it.
Okay, what about Habesha guys?
Habesha guys?
Bro,
no.
Habesha guys, East African guys in general, they also have this stereotype. You know, like
Don't say
most
no.
of-
Don't say no.
We know them. Don't worry.
Hey, beer belly, chicken
beer
legs.
belly,
Okay,
they
Bobby.
lose their hair by 30. You know, things like
30?
that. A lot of
That's
30,
plenty of time,
35.
bro.
You make it to 30, you're blessed.
Wait.
I can save some.
Bro.
Keeps.com, bro.
I know
Y'all
some
don't know
people
about
who are
that.
starting in their 20s.
They're driving taxis, working 7-Eleven. This is
Yeah.
But do you know that part?
But that's just a family thing. I don't think that has to do with
People
why
use
people
that, like,
see East African. I
Nah,
don't
bro.
know.
If I see like if I see an East African woman or in general bashing me for like having my hairline receding and stuff, I understand. But for working a job, that's just like you're just a terrible
Yeah.
person,
Got
bro.
money anyway.
I feel
No,
like
I
that's
don't think it's
immature. It's
job.
just immature.
Yeah, that's
And then
just
I just want to also speak on this, just from my experience, just getting older, going through puberty, just like maturing and stuff. There are a lot of people that are a little weird. I'd like to say maybe like, can I say fob?
Say it.
Okay, like just the fob, the general like fob men, you know?
Why are you
No,
scared to say fob?
I don't know if you're gonna censor something.
What's there to censor?
Off
Fresh
the
off the
dome,
boat,
bro.
Fresh off the boat.
But especially if you grew up in this area, especially downtown Silver Spring, is
Damn,
just
she said
like,
the location.
look.
Stop petting the
Damn.
desk, bro.
Get
No.
the coordinates, bro.
I'm sorry.
Got caught on our
But
trip.
We're not there.
Hey,
but it's
censor
just
that
like
part.
a lot of them are just very weird and approach just anyone they think is an eligible Habesha East African woman, and it's really uncomfortable, like extremely uncomfortable. Like I don't know why they're going ahead like even at 17, like there are people who look like they're like 35, 40 years
Yeah,
old, and they
that's
still
facts.
try to talk to me, and it's just
Mm.
it's a really uncomfortable thing. And I'm not even gonna lie, like even family, not here, but just like people I even haven't seen in like years, decades, just going back to Ethiopia, like they treat you very differently, like
feel
especially
you.
when you get older and stuff. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, and I think it just like I guess they just assume that you guys, not you guys specifically, but it's just like it's very hard to find people who are in that circle attractive just because of past experiences. You don't really feel
Okay.
comfortable.
That's
reasonable.
I never heard of that.
She
Yeah.
broke it down
And-
perfectly. I'm
Okay,
not-
yeah, bro. Thank you. I mean, like, I never felt attacked. Anyway, never
Nah.
mind. Let me just shut
I
up.
didn't feel attacked, but I understood the stereotype. I was
Yeah.
like, when I see myself moving to, I'm like, damn, I just have to accept it.
Hey,
I know one day they about to go.
yeah. At the end of the day, they always come back though, cause they want East African men to marry them. Well,
Okay.
some, not all. But
Some.
Yeah.
No, cause never mind.
Never mind.
It's a very hard
Keep-
topic.
keep it to
But let's
yourself.
just
The
keep.
second question was,
Yeah.
do you have any experience growing up like cooking? It's like
No,
the
listen,
general.
I'm gonna say like this. Like, let me actually read it. I said, what's it like when Habesha parents cook, and the aroma it gives off? Because I know for me, it's like, in like Habesha like culture, onions are number one strongest thing, and the stench that onions leave off. I'm telling you, you could close the door, put some clothes underneath the door, open the windows, and by the time you get to your friend's car, you're like, damn, bro, you smell like onions. So like, how was it like growing up like that? Like, did y'all have any moments, something like that?
Me personally, I don't think I've ever had to like experience it. My mom would usually like cook outside. We've always had like a balcony type thing. No. But sometimes it would. Sometimes there'd be like a little stench and stuff. And man, I would tell you, like, especially in middle school, kids are ruthless. Like, they are crazy. Yeah, in middle school, it was really popular to hate African kids. Like, it was really
they were the most,
popular to just
who are your
be
parents?
harsh.
What was
Like,
the trend?
damn. Especially even other Africans. I'm like, aren't we all in the same boat? Like, why are you
Other Africans were attacking you?
Okay, that's different.
That's friendly fire, bro.
Especially not my friends and stuff, but just like, I mean, you're kids. I understand that. Like, we're just gonna say anything. But at that time, it's just really weird seeing that happen for so long, and then when you get older, like in high school and like college, just in today's time, it's like popular to be African or like of African descent and stuff. Like now it's the cool thing, like, ooh, you're, you know, like you're exotic, you're ethnic, you know, like you have culture, things like that. But in middle school, if you came, like even my other friends, if you came to school stuff like that, they would go on you for not even that day, the entire week. They'll bring up things that happened 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, damn, like I can't control when my mom wants to cook, like, you know.
Let me just say this, okay? What you say at the end is facts, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to get like called fobs by other Ethiopians more than I was called a fob by other people, right? Before it became a trend. Now the people that used to call me fobs are like, "Oh, here Ethiopia Hagare." Like, bro, you don't know how to speak the language, bro. Like, I mean, okay, I don't have a problem you repping the country, but like, never mind.
No, I
you're
like
not wrong. There's a difference between Ethiopian Americans and then Ethiopians in general. Anyone who was born or like raised in this country, they would do anything to separate themselves from the country itself, just to seem more American, more.
Talking about me?
No. Bobby's a.
I wasn't saying names, but I mean, if you think it's you.
That's my past life.
We talked about this, right?
I've seen the light. I'm back now.
Nah, I feel you. And
okay, turn off.
Thank you so much, Eden. This was very, very. It was a nice conversation.
Bro,
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
you broke it down perfectly.
I tried.
Opened our eyes.
For joining us, you know.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
We'll see y'all on another episode on Off the Dome.